How do you know that once you have started all these things and writing, do you remember I asked you to write a diary? And when you are writing it daily, what happens? This happens. The inner equality increases. With the sense of true vital being, waiting for the greater direction it has to serve. It has to wait. It is not just you ask the psychic being, I am your servant and it will come. It won't come. You will have to wait for it. And that waiting, you should remember, is not the psychic being's delay. It is a delay of a defect in any one of your three bodies or in all the bodies. A delay in the thinking process, a defect in the thinking process, a defect in the desire process, a defect in the way you act, in the you use your physical body. Then even if you also surrender, he won't come. So if he doesn't come, don't think that he has not heard. He has heard. Even before you have this inspiration now, he has been preparing you from thousands of years for this aspiration. So it is he who is preparing you. So don't think he is not hearing you. The only thing is, instead of blaming him, the God, for our situations, you try to find out the defects in our three bodies. Next. A little of the divine person may reveal itself in some light, power, bliss, love out of the infinite. This may be a momentary revelation, a flash or a brief-lived gleam that soon withdraws and waits for the preparation of the nature. Just as I was explaining to you, it may come like a burst, shows you the way, and then it's gone, but you know it is coming from that direction. A long and large and comprehensive working will then have begun, sometimes luminous or intense, sometimes slow and obscure. I would like that Sri Aurobindo must have written many times. Many times, slow and obscure. He said only sometimes. Many times, our approach towards the psychic being is slow and obscure. But sometimes, it is very luminous or intense. And you remember, whenever you are near his samadhi, and that samadhi doesn't mean Sri Aurobindo Ashram at Pondicherry, your heart, if you can pull him. He's always there. The only thing is you will have to tune to him. And naturally, the best place to tuning will be where his samadhi fragments are there. Utilize it. You should meditate more there. You should spend more time there, but not just an idle sitting. If you just close your eyes and sit, it is inertia. Your mental inertia will dominate you. That is where you should be careful about all these three, the Pishacha, the Rakshasa and the Asura. And the thigh bone, that was the accident, very clearly shows the real powers of Aurobindo. If you read what he has said about it, you read and try to understand what he has done in that particular incident. And if you can remember that and sit before his samadhi, you read them. I don't want to go because I have a constraint of slides to be shown. But I think you are understanding. You read that portion in Sri Aurobindo's life where he has explained what that fall was meant to whom and how it was diverted to him. So all these, if you can understand the link between brain and heart, and then sit there in the samadhi. Something miraculous happens. So when you are meditating also, you should know that you should have a preparation. Without a preparation, you sit and meditate, it means you are inertia, mental inertia. Next. Sometimes and many times, what happens is, we feel that we have been left, the being to its own resources. The divine force goes to the background. But there the faith must be there. It has never gone into the background. It is always pressing you. It is our physical inertia which feels like that. So don't worry how you feel, whether you are in an exalted mood or you feel tired. Be regular in your sadhana, but with preparation, with preparation. Next. This force cannot be a smooth and even process. You remember that. So you don't have a straight, steady growth. It will always be ups and downs. Maybe you think about the downs more because you are not aware of the ups. The ups are always there. Have faith in that. Next. This is the most important part. The descent can happen only when a nature is prepared and conditioned for its complete rule and its all-compassing presence. So first, your thoughts must be able to bear those noble thoughts. Yesterday or 2-3 days back, I was seeing the film Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel of Gujarat, not of Andhra. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel of Andhra is sitting there. And there is a discussion of who will rule the country. Gandhi says, leave it to Jinnah. Leave it to Jinnah. They say, no, you are a Mahatma, you can do it. We can't do it. Had they done that then, what would have happened, we don't know. Because even now when I say these things, our egoistic... Huh? Freedom struggle. They said Jinnah. Gandhi said, let Jinnah rule, the Muslim will rule, we will serve the country. They say all in one tone, you are a Mahatma. Thereby accepting they are not Mahatmas, they are egocentric forces. And I don't know what would have happened. I am just seeing and saying, a nature prepared those noble souls who worked for the freedom of the country. Their nature was not yet prepared and conditioned. And even when Sri Aurobindo says that if the independence of India is not without Pakistan, then what may happen? India may again become a slave country. And we who read his messages, can't we move to his spirit? He is warning it. And you say Aurobindo will do it. If Sri Aurobindo could have done it, he would have done it already, he will not wait for you. You have to change. A nature prepared and conditioned must be ours before that supramental descent can happen. How, I don't know, because he said integral yoga, after the psychic being comes into the front, has to be individualized yoga. We stop here. Not bad. We are covering fast. Jai Gurudev.